Now, good morning, team. Sorry about that. How's it going? Welcome to Battlesnake Sunday. I'm Corey, and let's do some Battlesnake today. So we're gonna do some Battlesnake. Let's do a quick Battlesnake intro if you aren't familiar. Battlesnake is an online competitive multiplayer game where you play the game by writing a web server that controls one of these snakes. So maybe your snake is this orange one here, and every move, your web server gets the state of the board. It knows where all the food is, all the other snakes, and all your server needs to do is decide if you want to go left, down, up, or right. So you write some code to figure out which move might be the best for your snake, and the idea is to have your snake be on the board the longest, trying to stay alive and trap the other snakes kind of deal. So that's Battlesnake, and we're gonna jump in and do some of this today. I've been playing Battlesnake for just about 2 years now, maybe just over 2 years, and having a lot of fun. So I think I'm not 100% sure what we're gonna work on today. We're just gonna kind of mess around and see where we see. We were doing some error handling and stuff yesterday, so or not yesterday, last week. So maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do some visualizations for Monte Carlo. We'll kind of see how we're feeling. Gonna be a nice, relaxing Sunday, I think. 1 moment, team. I gotta figure out how to do moddy things in chat. Spam. Oop, spam. Okay. Um, okay. There we go. Sorry about that, team. We had a spam in chat and had to go and block and get rid of that. So all reported and should be good to go here now. So thanks for hanging out. Okay, so let's see what we're doing. So I was mentioning my Monte Carlo tree search snake. That's Improbable Irene. She is in the battlegrounds now, fighting it out. So I think we're gonna take a look at Irene today. Maybe we'll do some visualizations. Maybe we'll run some games. We'll see what we're seeing. Um, maybe we'll record some more stats from my snakes. I've been enjoying the last few weeks. So we'll see what we see. Let me know if there's anything you would rather me work on or whatever. We're just gonna hang out and have a nice stream for Sunday here. Okay, so let's just take a look at how Irene's been doing in some of these. So last night it looks like they had a good round. They're up at the moment, but got 60 points last night in duels. But let's just check out the history here. Maybe we'll watch some games. Lots of wins in a row, but some of these are really quick. Let's watch this 12 turn game because I think it's going to be kind of silly. Oh yeah, Munton just went for the forbidden move there. Went back on its neck. And you never want to go back on your neck, Munton. But we had some long games. Let's watch this one and then we'll watch some of those losses down there. This is a nice 250 turn game. Latency of Irene looks really good. Not getting over like even 410. Means we probably have a lot. We could bump that and be pretty safe, but we'll be fine. Staying small. This very adequate state snake is getting big. Okay. Yep. Still staying pretty small. Again, adequate snake is definitely eating more of the food here. I kind of think adequate snake is eventually just gonna bind themselves up. And that is right there. There we go. Just with knowing we were getting to about 250 turns, it definitely had to end soon. So, very adequate snake had some ways out, but just didn't see that going down here kind of trapped themselves in. And actually, this was their last move. That was it, right? Anything there. Oh, wait, not even though. They probably could have gotten out of it here. If you go down, yeah, oh, I can't point at the screen. I can do this, though. They can go down, up, around, and out that way, for sure, before their tail gets there. Because there are only a few places here, and if they had done the whole zigzag, they definitely would have had. Oh, actually, they even had room here. They didn't even need to. Oh, so wow, it was just that right move that was putting them in the trap. They actually had a lot of ways out, because here they could go left and tail chase and be free. So good game there, Irene. Let's go watch one of the losses, though. Those are almost more interesting. We'll start with this turn 100 loss. Okay. Deutschland? Deutschland? Man, I'm not good at my pronunciation, but that's what I'm gonna go with for Christoph. I think they're both just about turns 100 here, so. Oh, there we go. Oh yeah, see, this is what Irene really likes this. Just going for these head-to-heads when it's smaller and has ways out. Like Irene doesn't need, like she doesn't need to go for this head-to-head here. She can go down and be pretty safe, like, and then just have a way out. Go down, go up this way, and be totally fine. So last time I was theorizing that this might have something to do with my UCB1 score, and maybe I don't want to do a UCB1. UCB1 is the upper confidence bound. So if we jump into my code here, we can find the source code for Irene. Yep. Oh, no, not in min-max, because she is not a min-max snake. Irene is Monte Carlo, which is in this file. Okay, so we have Monte Carlo, and then what I was doing is UCB1, yeah, so UCB1. So the upper confidence bound is part of Monte Carlo, and it is the score that defines which node we look at next. And I have a feeling that UCB1 here might not be the best, but like it seems to be what it's supposed to be, right? Like this math checks out against the formula. I've done that a few times. And actually, do we have tests on UCB1 score? I think we have a few. But let's check. Because we could just start by writing some tests of things like that. Test basic expand. Okay, sure. Test board representation. Test back propagating the first child. Sorry, my beard's very itchy right there. Test back propagating the root. Test average non-empty. So this is number of visits and total scores. This is still not UCB. Average non-empty. UCB. There we go. UCB non-empty. UCB empty, UCB non-empty. Okay, so we do have some very simple tests here for this. Where we just make sure that they're some numbers. Why do I have greater than signs here? Is it just because like they're close to this? Oh, I didn't actually read. It's greater than this and less than this. I see. So I'm just saying that it's in between these two numbers, which is fine. I don't need to do exact floating point comparisons here. Okay, so I have UCB1 tests. They pass. Okay, so I think really what I want to do here is like in a situation like this, I would really like to be able to see some of the things that my Monte Carlo predicted, right? So like my Monte Carlo is gonna eventually make paths through the maze. Like we're gonna end up with board states that are like what I think we could have gotten to in like a certain number of turns and stuff. So I think I kind of just want to see like what some of those are. So maybe I can keep a list of board states that my Monte Carlo gets to at the end, and then have a way to visualize them. I think we could maybe hack something into the board. So the board that we're looking at here is open source. So I think we could maybe pull that open and start hacking on that if we want. But I think first what we want to do is just store the board states that are the ends. And like I'm pointing to this, but this isn't the end. Irene, how Monte Carlo is going to work is Irene's going to simulate going in every direction and randomly for my opponents, and then it's going to score some end states. So once it goes out, I think 20 turns, it's going to score some of those states, and I want to see those states because I feel like something weird is happening. Like I feel like we're just, I don't know, we're seeing too many states that I don't think we want to see here. This head-to-head is just interesting. So let's see where we might be able to store all the end nodes. It's gonna get big because like we just see a lot of end states. But that'll be okay. Thank you. I just got a delivery of a Red Bull for during stream. So happy about that. Okay. So we do have graph. What does graph do? I don't honestly even remember what graph does. Oh, yes, I do. Ooh, let's run graph. Graph sounds like a fun thing to do because doesn't graph render me a dot viz graph? Yeah, how do I use the graph? Does this have a graph endpoint in Axum? Yes, it does. Okay, so um let's try this out. Oh, okay. This got renamed, but that's okay. It used to be called Paw. Now it's called Rapid API. That's fine. Let's just make a new one here. Okay, so I'm gonna want to post to localhost 3000 improbable Irene move. Okay, that should just error. Oh, well, a few reasons it's gonna error. One, I'm not running the server. Oh, web axum. Oh, so close. There we go. Okay, so now this will be running, but the other thing is I'm not giving this the right things. So this needs a JSON. So the easiest way for me to do that is just to grab a fixture. And actually, let's go to Irene so that we grab a reasonable fixture. Let's grab one of these fixtures from the bottom. No. There we go. Okay. Body is some JSON. Looks like that. We don't actually want move. Oh, well, let's try move just to see something working. Okay. Yep. Goes to the right. I forgot though that I have graph. Oh, it doesn't work. Why didn't it work? Okay, well, let's figure out this. Because what graph is supposed to do is supposed to give me like a tree representation of all the moves I got to. It's not quite as nice as like seeing where the snake went, but I forgot that I had this, and I think this could be really helpful, and I want to bring it back. Um, oh, file already exists. Cool. Okay, so I just need to get rid of the file that already exists. I don't know where graph is supposed to be saving these, so let's find out. Graph move doesn't really tell me. There we go. A temp thing with total number of iterations. Okay, so I think what I just want to do here is go ls temp and what's in here. Yeah, we've got all kinds of things. Okay, rm, rf, the temp directory. Man, this graphing is actually way nicer than I remembered. I'm glad I came back to this before trying something different because, always good to start with something that you already have a little bit more. Okay, so I still did get a panic here, and actually, let's find out if this, put anything in here. No, okay. Okay, no file directory. Okay, I thought the error message said something different for a second. Okay, so this is what's happening. Where are we blowing up 180? Oh, this one was no file. Okay, so this was failing because there was no directory. Okay, now we gotta crash for a different reason. Floating point constraint violated. Oh, that's fun. Awesome. Okay, wow. Floating point constraint violated. That's fun. Okay, so the another thing here though is that I don't think graph. Oh, this does take a result. Okay, so then things where I'm wrap error and expect can become a wrap error. Okay, so just trying to get rid of the unwraps here so that we have better error handling. Okay, a little bit better. So this is the join error? Yeah, I think this is not the right error. I think we panicked first and then we panicked again down here. That's my read on this. Oh, wrap error. Oh, you can't wrap error for a option. Which one is that? That's line 193. That's this one. Um, okay, or else here's where we do this and we do iribang, and then this can just have this. And then that. Awesome. Okay. Cool. Still can't compile. Is it the same one? 197. Oh wow, that's kind of funny. Okay. Okay, or else double of those now though. Okay. 183. Oh, right all. What does right all return? I assumed it. Oh, it does a result. What? This function should return a union or an option to accept that. Oh. I see. That's why this had an unwrap, because I'm in a closure. What's... Oh, it's my while condition. Um... so then when and while we do the while condition... Oh, no, while condition needs to not... Oh, wow, that's interesting. My while condition right now is panicking. Um, this one should be an unwrap. I don't ever expect this to fail. But it is weird that this is panicking and my code around it doesn't know how to handle that. Not my favorite. I thought I got rid of that. Oh, only one of them. Okay. Looks like we're compiling now. And can we graph? Okay, still not graphing. Do we get a better error message? Yeah, file already exists this time. That one's easy though. Rm rf the temp directory and make dir the temp directory. But that's definitely not the only problem I have. Sorry. I know I can't face away from the mic or else I don't sound good. Just checking out the stream stats. Okay. Redo. Redo. Okay. Application crashed. So this is panicking at 276 in main, but that's just out here. 276 in main is just... Wait. Oh. Oh. Interesting. That actually is giving me like a reasonable error. Message, called result unwrap on an error value. The error value here is join error panic though? Like that's weird to me. Does that work? I think it might. Oh no, it can't return. I can't refer it. But didn't I? Isn't this where I now have like all the HTTP error stuff a little bit? Yeah, I have HTTP error. Okay. Can I say that graph route graph returns a JSON response of some output, move output. Cool. Nice. Now I can actually do this with error forwarding. Much nicer, honestly, actually. Okay, awesome. No more unwrapping needed here. And now I think we should get better error reports. Oh, dang it. I really thought that one was gonna work. Oh, I can't from this one. I can't from just a standard dyn error into my thing. Okay, so I guess my error handling isn't great yet. Might want to fix that though, because that feels like something I should just be able to do. But whatever. We've got this running. Okay. Do we get a better error? We got a 500 now. No panics. Classification status. Wonder why this printed twice. This printed twice too. Interesting. Do I have 2 subscribers bound? I think I do. But that's not really like the big deal here. Called, oh my gosh, this one. Okay. I need a new tabby. Oh. I need a new tab thing. There we go. So that I can do rm rf temp and make dir temp. Okay. It did make one file. Okay, so this is interesting to me though. I don't, span trace capture is unsupported. I don't know where you're coming from. I guess I could do rust backtrace equals 1 as well. Okay. Remove the directory. Okay. Floating point violation. Okay, so this is actually what I wanted. I wanted to find the floating point violation. It was in UCB1 normal. Perfect. That's actually where I wanted to look. Look at that. UCB1 normal, line 508. I bet number of visits is 0. I'm pretty positive the number of visits here is gonna be 0. That's why it's about to. That's why it blows up. Well, that's interesting. I'm not sure what it's doing now. That is the first time I didn't quit the server in the middle, but that seems like it shouldn't have been related. Feeling like it is related though. Okay, that failed again. Yeah, number of visits is 0. I also want to print out the total number of iterations though. Also, like, why is this only happening in graph? So I guess what I probably should look at is how graph looks different than move. Because I think that might be in the issue. That's a good thing to look at. Okay, so in graph, we do graph with and then some numbers. And then in Monte Carlo, which is like the entry point-ish up here, I feel like. Make move. Okay, that's close enough. Here's where we're gonna call Monte Carlo. And then in Monte Carlo, total number of iterations. Yeah, okay, so the first thing we do in our while condition is we make total number of iterations bigger. Um, so let's go down to graph move or graph width or whatever. Yeah. Takes in a builder and adds itself and all children. Okay, so I don't want graph width, graph. Oh, this is the thing that actually just returns it. Okay, so I guess I want to figure out what is the graph method doing here. It calls graph move. Okay. I think the first thing that I need to do here is increase this. That's the first thing that we do here. So the first thing we do in our while condition is we increase the total number of iterations by 1. I think this is going to fix what's going on in my errors here. Hey, Backward Spy, how's it going? Am I on the wrong screen in OBS? Oh my gosh. Well, that's hilarious. Okay, let's fix this. Finding the right button. Finding the right button. Maybe found the right button, though my preview... There we go. My preview finally changed. Okay. Well, thank you, Backward Spy. This is what happens when I don't have anyone hanging out and watching me. I just streamed the wrong screen for so long. How's it going? Thanks for hanging out. It's going pretty good. Having a nice chill Sunday. How about yourself? Working on Monte Carlo, trying to... I had this graphing endpoint from many moons ago, apparently, where, well, we'll see in a minute, but it's supposed to output a graph viz style files that we can then graph into, like, a tree node and see, like, what our Monte Carlo is thinking. And I haven't used it in a long time and kind of forgot about it. So we're gonna bring it back to life today. Can't assign to an immutable argument. Okay, that's fair. That's easy enough to fix, I hope, though. Oh, this is the while condition. This isn't where I wanted to put that. Where do we actually use the while condition? Oh, we just pass it to Monte Carlo. Oh, okay. That makes sense, but that also doesn't actually explain my panic, because Monte Carlo is doing the +1 thing that I was just copying from. Okay, so back to the drawing board here. Okay. Do bigger. Oh, no, I actually wanted it this way, and let's make it bigger this way. Okay, so we are still blowing up on, yeah, number of visits is 0, total number of iterations is 0, and we're blowing up. Is it because in my while condition we're trying to do this? Let's get the number again. This is on graph with line 689. Okay, so this is in graph with, we need to get a UCB1 normal score to graph, apparently, which makes sense. Graph calls graph with, and graph Monte Carlo. This is not what it is. It's graph Monte Carlo tree search. Uh-oh. Monte Carlo tree search. Not that one. Not that one. Nope. 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 Graph move. It's this one. Okay. Is it my while condition that does it? Yeah, okay, so this is where it graphs it. Yep. Yep. So I think maybe what I want to do here, while we're at something that's mod 64, but we're not at the first iteration, we can graph. I think that'll fix it. Pretty chill Sunday here. Been keeping busy with cat pooch and stuff, and was brought onto the staff team a few days ago. Oh, congrats for being on the staff team. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, I got a fun to do PR review and testing new ports. That's a lot of fun. Congrats on getting brought onto the staff team there. That's awesome. I know you've been working with them and on that for a while, so that's a lot of fun. I'm still loving the theme. I haven't switched to anything else since I installed it a while back. It's great. Okay, so now something's being formatted wrong. I don't really know why something's being formatted wrong, though. 6 positional arguments in string, but there are 5 arguments. Did I mess something up here? Because I didn't think I changed this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, I definitely did here. I didn't mean to. What did I do here? Oh yeah, let's bring that back. I didn't ever mean to delete that. What kind of ports have you been testing out? Where are people putting the Cat Fujin theme nowadays? There's so many out there. It's like just surprising there's more to port it to. Not really. There's so many softwares, but just kind of curious where it gets ported to nowadays. Okay. Oh, okay. There we go. We got results. That looks better. Okay, so the trick there was that apparently in some refactors I had total number of iterations equals 0 as something that loops, and I just needed to ignore that in my graphing code. Nothing too crazy there. Okay, so now I have all of these dot files. Let's go back down to one terminal because it's easier, and let's see. I do not at all remember how to render a .viz file into a PNG, so let's use the internet for that. Graph viz dot to PNG. Yeah. Oh, that's .ps. That should still work if I just make it PNG. Yeah. Okay, so let's see, go back to a terminal here. Let's try iteration 0. Oh, and then is T, yeah, okay. Iteration underscore 0 dot. And let's just make it the same thing. What do you mean? Oh, because I'm not in the directory. cd to temp. Now do it. And then we can... Oh, I didn't actually output it. I thought it was just gonna output it to the file. I thought it was just gonna, like, pick it for me. Okay. Where's the PNG file going? Iteration 0 PNG. Oh, I'm doing -o output. That's not how any of these things tell me to do it. I just wasn't reading, apparently. Okay, empty file. That kind of makes sense. I didn't make that file. Oops. Okay, so today I was looking at new ones. There's a port in development for OpenBox, which is a Linux development environment. I installed that in a VM to try out. And there's also a new Rust crate in progress, which brings the colors to the eGUI library. Ooh, that's fun. Yeah, that's fun. I hadn't like actually thought about how testing all of these color schemes could be like kind of fun and interesting. Like you get to like, you know, you had to install a Linux environment in a VM just to test out the color scheme. That's actually like a really fun kind of project. And I haven't checked out eGUI. I want to do some Rust GUI stuff eventually just because I think it would be fun, but I haven't played with it much at all. Have you played with eGUI? Or any of the Rust GUI stuff? I stick to web for GUIs for the most part, not for any reason, just because that's what I'm familiar with. Okay, yeah, this looks more familiar. We haven't looked at one of these in a while. I forgot about this. Okay, so this is what we are rendering right now. Wow, is that even going to be readable even if I can zoom in on it enough? Okay, well, let's go to the top of our graph. Oh, wait, and I wasn't making these PNGs before, was I? I was making these, SVGs. That's probably the better format for this. Yeah, okay. No more PNGs. Let's make some SVGs. Then I think what I've done before is just pull these open in Chrome. Yeah, Chrome likes Opening all the fancy SVGs. There we go. This looks more familiar and more just like I can actually read the text. I thought these had color at one point, but maybe I'll have to add that back in. I haven't tried Igui yet, but I've played with Tari and Yu. Seems like a quite promising option for making a desktop software written entirely in Rust. Yeah, I like Tari. Or well, I haven't actually tried either Tari or Yu, but I definitely like the idea of them. Right, I agree. They definitely seem promising. Um, I've thought about doing Tari and like probably Yu just because I would need something for actually rendering. Kind of for stuff like this to write some kind of like Rust powered tool for my snake to visualize things better. Um, I'm better at web stuff because like I've done CSS for so long that like that's where I can make things look decent. So would help me be able to make things fast-ish. But then still keeping the Rust code base, especially for Battlesnake stuff. So like I could, I don't know, call my score functions from closer to view code or whatever. Do fancy things like that. That would be fun. So I think I'll look into those eventually. And like maybe actually this type of project is a good one where I'm looking to get information out of my snake in kind of an interactive way. Like ideally, I would actually like these nodes to like I could click on a node and it expands and then unexpands or something, just so that this was a more readable graph. But that's kind of a big project that I haven't actually tried a ton yet. But let's just take a look here. I think Tari has support for most of the popular front-end frameworks too, so you could use Svelte, React, or so on instead of Vue. That's fair. I didn't think about that. That's fair. You're not tied to doing Rust things just because you're using Tari or however you pronounce that thing. That's a really good point. I hadn't really been thinking about that. So yeah, I don't even have to go all the way into Vue or Rust stuff. Could stick in React land. Though if I'm gonna do it, I do think it sounds fun to do Vue as well because I haven't done that, so it would be fun. Okay, so let's just take a look at what we see here, and I've kind of been doing that and trying to get my bearings. But we have depth 0. This is where we are right now in the tree. There is no move. We think the total score here is this -57. Kind of meaningless to me, honestly. We've visited 64 times, so we've done 64 total iterations here. And I don't really know if I care about the UCB one and average of it, but they're interesting. So we should have a few children here. We have down over here. It's been visited 30 times. It has an average score of -0.84. And then all the way over here, we have the other move that I could make here, which is right. An average score of worse, -96, visited 34 times. So actually, let's see if we can see this game. Just so that we know what we're looking at a little bit. So we're looking at like the bottom fixture here, which is this one. And so the easy way is if this game still exists. In the server, I can just take the UUID. Aw, nope, not available. Okay, that's okay because I think oh, actually no, I probably didn't archive it, did I? I just did that. I probably didn't archive it. I should have archived it. I don't think I did. 95D. 95D is not here. Yeah, okay. I didn't archive it, which means I can't see that one. Did I archive like this one? Oh, yeah, see, I didn't archive any of these, which is unfortunate. So if I had the archived game, I could just pull it up and look at it. So I guess I could just pull up one of these archived games and look at it that way. But this one's actually more interesting. So I think it should go down though. and it wants to go right sometimes. So I guess I could just look at this and figure out what it's going to do. Actually, here's what I want to do. Game board generator. Battle snake. Uh, this was supposed to be generator. I'm looking for this thing. Paste the board here. So then if I can just find my big thing, I upload it. There we go. Okay. So I sometimes go right for the head-to-head for this food, but I think down's the safer move. Okay, yeah, so I definitely want to go down. I see why right has a very low score. It's almost always going to be death. But actually, this is what the graphing is going to do, because this thing's negative 0.66, and then this is UCB1 is infinity still. So we're still going to this one. Okay, interesting. The average score is better. Okay, so like that's fine and all. Why is UCB1 infinity? I think I know why. I think that's because this. While number of visits is less than 8 times the natural log of the number of iterations. So this is I don't actually like I think this future optimization is done, but that's not relevant. What is UCB1 score versus UCB1 normal? And which one am I? Oh, I'm using the normal. This one's dead coded. Got it. UCB1 normal was supposed to be better. Like that's why I went to the UCB normal. Okay, well, interesting. Definitely interesting. I don't know what it tells me yet. Um, I think one thing it tells me is just that I want more iterations. Okay. Awesome. Okay, so it did open in Chrome like I wanted, which is nifty. Let's find the nodes at the top of our graph. There we go. And okay, so here's the one at the top. We visited 128 times. Great. And let's look at both the left and the right. The total score is very negative, but I don't really think that matters. And we go over to the right. I feel like my music stopped at some point. Yeah, it did. The app just crashed. Play. Yeah, it's kind of being broken right now. Okay, well, I guess we're gonna keep going without music for the moment, team. Sorry about that. See, if they had used Tari, it wouldn't have happened. I joke. This is definitely a web platform though, in a Electrum-ish kind of thing. Okay, well, I guess we're gonna go without music for the moment. Maybe I'll try to boot it up again in a few. But here's the down move. We finally have a UCB1 out of it. We're not getting infinity, which I think is good. We have a UCB1 of negative 0.45. And this one has a UCB of negative 6.8. So yeah, we're definitely going to pick the one over there better. This one's average score is basically negative 1. This average score over here is not a lot better than negative 1, but definitely a little bit bigger. Okay, so like this is the problem with this graphing thing, is that it's like super helpful, but it also like at the same time doesn't tell me much. Because like it just tells me the scores. I'm just really having a hard time figuring out what the... See, and this time it picked right when I ran it without graphing. That's interesting. Average score is the first thing. Wait, why did it pick? Oh, because this one's negative higher. Yeah, see? But this one would even be interesting to graph. But of course, this isn't the one I caught in the graph. But I guess that would be interesting if I caught it, if I knew that it was the one that caused it and I could see it change as we went out in iterations. That would be really interesting. I'm not sure if that's gonna happen, but that would be real interesting. So we can run this again. And let's, oh, and I think the web response does tell me which direction it goes to. So things broke. Okay, cool. No such file or directory. Got it. This one's easy. This one's just a make dir temp. Okay, let's try this again. I'm really missing the oh, there we go. Skip into the song just a bit. Yeah, okay. Music's back. I like that. Just felt empty without music. Okay, they went down this time. RM, RF, temp, make dir temp. Okay. I need to keep doing this until we get one where it goes right. That's the idea, at least. Should probably just have this clear the directory so that I don't have to keep RMRFing it. That would probably be a good idea. Yeah, okay. Let's do that real quick. So in graph, this is not where we say the route, so we do it in graph move. We actually do the graphing here. Create new set, failing if one already exists. I think I want create and truncate or something. Yeah, create true, truncate true. But actually what I like want to do is get rid of the whole directory, honestly. Rust, delete directory, remove dir all. Nice. Remove dir all. With that, the directory that we want to remove is something like this. And then like Rust, I want to just make a new directory, Rust, create empty directory, create dir. Perfect. Okay. Now it should just delete the old stuff and create new stuff for me each time. So I can just keep hitting this until I see a write come out of the JSON. And then at that point, I should just have the right dot files. Down, 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 down. Uh-oh. Right. I got one that says right. Perfect. Okay. Let's take a look at some GraphViz files here. Okay, close this so I don't accidentally mess anything up. Do I have two of these? No. Okay. CD to our temp directory. Well, how many iterations do we have? Okay, so let's start with 64. Okay. Iteration 64 here. SVG. Okay, close these other ones. Okay, perfect. What's going on at the top? Okay. We can go down has an average score of -1, and going right has an average score of not -1. So is this just what happens? Like we just get stuck in a way where everything down went badly? So we're still gonna go over here for, because it used to be 1 being infinity. But these are all off to a bad start. Um, 2 to the 6th is 64, is that right? Yeah, okay. I was just making sure that getting to depth 6th made sense here. And like some of these here... Okay, so like we have me moving down and then another snake going down, up, down, left, right, up, and right, left. And only one of these has anything more. So down, 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 and down right. That doesn't really make a ton of sense. Wait, oh, I closed one of these that I want open. I thought I just... Oh, it's open in my actual browser, I think. Yeah, okay. So there's this snake here. What if I get... This snake I don't really care about. But this one can go right. Wait, why are these ones over? Why does this one not branch? Why is there nothing under here? Okay, let's get that state here. Which unfortunate is I'm gonna have to keep doing this until I get another right now. Because like I don't have this state in the right spot, but that's fine. It's just annoying. Okay, so now I just have to keep following this down. This gets graph, this does graph with here. Okay, self dot, what do I have here? Do I have like node? Yeah, like what is my self here? Oh, and then graph actually gets a builder. Yeah. Okay, so do I not get like the board kinda here then? Graph move. Graph move just makes this fancy thing and passes it to Monte Carlo. And I think it's that while condition just doesn't have an... No. Self.game. There we go. That's all I needed to freaking find. It's self.game. Okay, so I have self.game here. So like I can do self.game dot like results or like is. What can I do with the game? Self.game? Like why are you not... Oh, game state. Dot like is... Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess I can just do that, right? That's fine to include. Okay. So we can stay in temp, that's fine. Formatting's okay. Yep, that makes sense. because I added an extra thing and I didn't do this here. Tekken is over. Okay, so the idea here is that I want to know why these ones couldn't keep going, because I don't think they should think they're end states. Something obviously thought they were end states. But they weren't. Eventually, we've got to get right again. Oh man. If I hadn't seen it just happen before I changed logging, I would be, there we go. I would be getting kind of convinced it wasn't gonna happen. But then we got it. Oh, I'm already in temp. Nice. What? What? What are you talking about? There's nothing in here now? Oh, I'm in a different temp directory. It's the name, it's the same name, but it was deleted, so it doesn't, it's not the same one. Okay. Okay. Didn't these have colors at one point? I would have sworn these had colors at some point. Okay, so here we are. Is over false. Is over false. Oh, they just don't get visited. Nothing's saying they're over. They just don't get visited. Why don't they get visited? That's interesting. Just haven't been visited yet because of the UCB1 normal thing. Because if I do the same thing with 128, they like should have visits now. Whee! Is that depth 0? Depth 1. Here's some depth 2s. Oh, depth 1s though. Yeah, so that one's expanded. Oh, wait, that one still is the only one that's being expanded with 3 visits. Well, also, I guess I'm doing really small numbers of visits, right? Because, like, in real life, this would be getting to a lot more. It just doesn't make it very far because we're graphing. Oh, I also am only doing this in 100 milliseconds. Interesting. So I could get much farther, more milliseconds. Is that gonna make it harder to get the wrong answer though? It also just didn't actually tell me much when we got there. Well, that was really fast. I'm confused. It like just didn't do it. What did I do? I'm so confused. Didn't I just make this? Oh, network latency padding. That's not what I meant to change. If anything, I wanted this to be like 0. I can take the whole 500 milliseconds. That's all I was doing, was giving it network latency padding. Oops. And I think I probably just have it going right as like a default move. Okay, down, down, down. Yeah, so this one's actually probably still not going to tell me anything. Wonder if I want to use UCB instead of UCB normal. That would be interesting. I already have the function. You could just plug it in, see what happens. Are we gonna get it right ever? So those extra 100 milliseconds made it so we're never gonna pick the wrong thing? Really? Found one. Okay. Okay. Okay, so we can go down. Yeah, -9, -8. Looking at the average scores of them. We just don't look at these ones yet. They just haven't been visited. That one's been visited 30 times. Why doesn't it? I feel like it should split this up. I don't really like that it visits the same node so many times before it even tries to visit another node. Yeah. Yeah, I don't like that. So I wonder if that's something that I could fix-ish. Let's commit this first GCA. Better error handling and graph Monte Carlo tree search again. I thought these had colors at one point. It's not a big deal. I wonder what happened to them though. Is that in MinMax? Does MinMax know how to graph things? And is that where it went? Yep. MinMax return has a dot graph, and this one probably, yeah, this one has all kinds of stuff on it. It's got labels, colors, fills. Yep. That's so the MinMax return has better coloring. Okay, but let's work on the thing I was just thinking about, where I don't really like how when I do UCB1 normal. Okay, so when I want to find where UCB1 normal is used, because my thought here is that when UCB1 normal like visits the same node every time, I would rather it like pick randomly and not just do the first one 34 times first and then keep going or something like that. Let's look at where we use this. Go to references. Max by key. This is probably what I want. Yeah, these are in other places, so this one's the one I want. This is next child to explore. Yeah, okay. The negative infinity though is based on the number of visits to this place. But if you take the natural log of iterations times 8 and you get something, number of visits is an integer, so like it's either 0 or 1. So if I get something less than 1 here, number of visits is irrelevant, right? So if up here, if total number of iterations, I want like this basically, but not exactly. If total number of iterations, if this is, if 1, if this, wait, no, okay, if number of visits is less than or equal to this. So if number of visits is 1, then this has to be greater than 1. Oh, so this doesn't actually work how I wanted it to. Let's look up the UCB1 normal. UCB1 normal. A handy guide, yep. Will this one tell me what normal is? I just want the math for it. UCB1 algorithm, UCB1 normal. Yeah, that one wasn't as helpful as I wanted. Yeah, so UCB1 normal is like the thing that everyone says it should be. Like that's what it's what everyone like says they want to use. UCB1 normal, this one. If there is a machine which has been played less than 8 times log n times, then play this machine. Okay. If there is a machine that has been played less than 8 times log n times, then play this machine. Maybe that's what I'm trying to say here is I can pull, maybe what I'm trying to write in this comment is what I'm trying to do now and pull that out first. I'm not sure though. I think what I would want to do is play the machine that's been played the least here. Yeah, I wonder if that's what I want to do. No, that doesn't make sense as long as I do that before. Okay, well, let's look at the actual math here. I don't actually think I'm doing that math right. Average score. Yep, that makes sense. So I would need to know all of their symbols here. Total number of iterations minus 1. Yep. Natural log of the total number of iterations. Wait, total number of iterations minus 1. Yep. Natural log of total number of iterations minus 1. The first fraction is the second fraction over number of visits. Yep. Over sum of squares. Sum of the squares. Sum of squares minus number of visits. Minus number of visits times average score squared. Yep. Divided by, yep, okay, that's right. Constant. Where my constant is 16. Oh yeah, this is definitely the formula I'm using right now. Yeah, I do think I can make this a tiny bit faster. Where like if I go to where this is happening, so maybe if I do iter cloned max by key. Well, first of all, did that just like not cargo clippy? It didn't care about the cloning there? Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought it was gonna care about the cloning. Wait, that, whoa. Everything's very mad about that. I think I need to cargo clean it. Oh, not sure when you said that backwards spy, but have a good dinner if you aren't gone already. Okay, we gotta take a little while to compile here. We did a cargo clean. Okay, cool. I wasn't late on my chats. Sometimes I feel like I get into the zone and I'm not always positive if I see the chat super well. Glad I didn't miss this one though. Oh, 550. I read the number wrong. Was curious why we went over 500. Thought that's where we were done. Okay. Okay, Clippy doesn't care, so I didn't. Oh wait, no, that's not that. That was with it back in because I wasn't sure what was up. Okay, yeah, it doesn't like that. It wants a reference. This is giving it a reference to a reference, which is weird. An iterator of that. It's so weird though. Like, can I just like take one of the references away? It can't be dereferenced. Reasonable. Oh, because it's an option and then the ref. No, that's not gonna help either. Expected struct found a reference to copy the value inside. Yeah, but that's not what I wanted. It would work for sure. It's just not what I wanted. Well, actually, that's a good point though. I could just copy the option instead of copying everything in the iterator. Well, that's not a bad idea. That seems like a great idea to me. Number of visits I can just get from them. So I could do let what about max? Let mutable equals, what is this? N64. I don't think that's what I want it to. I don't think that's what I think it is. Oh, maybe it is. Okay. 4C in this, children. If let number so if self that number, no, not self, wait, is it, wait, child dot UCB1 normal. Yeah, okay, so I want like C dot number of visits is less than this. Blah. Okay, so if number of visits is less than, I have it equals 2, I guess, so we'll just do that. Return some, CETA number of visits is less than or equal to blah. Oh yeah, I think I have to change that to something. What it is an F64 up there. Okay. I think I can just do this. I think that'll atomic U size can't be to an as. Wait a sec, what did I do here then? Oh, I gotta load it. That's reasonable. I just forgot about that. I forgot that that's how this thing works. Let number of visits, c dot number of visits okay, so then if we do this, then we do just sum of c. If c dot UCB1 normal score with total number of iterations it was greater than max dot 0, then max equals let UCB1 normal equals this, so I have it in a variable. And then UCB1 normal goes here, UCB1 normal goes here, max equals the UCB1 normal, comma C. Try wrapping it in a sum, yeah, a sum C. And then we just do max.1. Copied. Woohoo! Okay, awesome. I don't actually know if this is gonna change much of anything. So this is min number of visits. So then this actually shouldn't need this anymore. This was extracted out of here and into the function that calls for this score. Okay. First of all, let's just run the tests. See what that looks like. Okay, there we go. Unit tests, only one failed. This one, AF9. Yeah, oh, AF9 is this one. Okay, it wants to go right. I didn't always. Let's try it again. Package lib test exact. My up was not the allowed set. Okay, yeah, that's normal. Well, I like broke it. Now it consistently wants to go up. Let's look at that over here in my viewer that I have. Okay, I'm the green snake. I'm really wanting to go up, apparently. Up is not in the allowed set, but right is. Yeah. Because if I go right, I can go back down and tail chase. If I go up, it's over. According, like, you know. Unless this is something that, like, just the Monte Carlo doesn't do great, but, like, that's so weird. Yeah, like, random reasonable is interesting, because, like, that's Monte Carlo's whole point, but, like, I wonder if it wants to be just a tiny bit smarter. Like, random reasonable move from each snake doesn't try to do anything but randomness, but, like, I wonder if that's the right way to do it. Because according to this, according to Monte Carlo, basically, there's a 1/3 chance the snake takes any of these. I don't think that's true. There's like a 80% chance the snake goes this way. Yeah, this is where I want to kind of think about combining my min-max and Monte Carlo, but I also just don't think my Monte Carlo is working well enough on its own. Like, it shouldn't have this type of bug that badly, I don't think. I also don't know why what I changed would have, like, drastically changed this one, where it, every time, goes the other direction now. And it's, like, we look at it a ton more times. So I guess that's, like, probably a bug in the code I just wrote then, right? Like, it seems so likely. So if we go up to where we've made some changes. Yeah, next child to explore. Okay. We look through the children. For each child, we get the number of visits. If their number of visits is less than or equal to the minimum number of visits, then we take that one. That one's just the one we take no matter what. And then this should just be max. Let's rename this max of, like, the UCB1 normal. If number of visits, look at the diff a little bit. Because here I added, okay, so this is where I removed it. If number of visits is less than 8 times total number of iterations as an F64 natural log. Okay, yep. As an F64 natural log times 8, yep. So if the, why 8? Where did this 8 come from? Like, I know I'm taking it from this, but like that 8 is important here. So like, what do we, these are all about gambling machines. I want to know where this 8 comes from. So this is UCB1. This is the old school one that I was doing. I'm not doing it anymore. Index-based policy with logarithmically bounded finite time regret for normally distributed reward distributions with unknown mean and variance. For normally distributed reward distributions. For normally distributed reward distributions. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna cheat just a little bit. We're not really gonna cheat. We're gonna go to the Battlesnake Discord. If you are hanging out and not in the Battlesnake Discord, you should definitely join. Go to the Battlesnake site at play.battlesnake.com, and in the footer find the link to the Discord. What upper confidence bound algorithm? I'm currently using UCB1 normal, but during stream today, wondering if that makes the most sense. Reading that normal is best for when the payouts are normally distributed. Is it payouts? Normally distributed reward distributions. Rewards are normally distributed, but having trouble understanding if that's what I might for battle snake. Need to think through the math more, I think. Okay, well, let's get that message out. We'll see what people say. I'm actually really looking for what Pea Eater here says. Alvex. He's been teaching me so much about one, Monte Carlo, and two, just making things go fast. Here's our used to be one normal. I checked the thing. This is the right math. Like, it's doing the right thing. Actually not sure what the QJ is. Like, I have it in my code, so I guess I do know, right? It's the do sum of the squares. Yeah, that's what I decided to call it. The sum of the squares. Okay, so let's look at that code. I'm just curious what sum of the squares is doing for me. Oh, sum of the squares. Wait. Sum of the squares is something I'm keeping? I guess that makes sense, because like I'm just gonna... Yeah, because I want to keep total score and sum of square scores. Got it. So I need both of those to be here. Okay. Yeah. So this is not related to that at all. But I'm gonna do something else that Discord's reminding me about. Atomics. This message, this hot tip. Hot tip, if you ever want to reach into atomics and don't want to sink days into understanding memory models, which I kind of do want to sink days into understanding, but I have not done it yet. You should probably just always use ordering sequential cast, says Pea Eater. And I 100% am going to take that advice. So every time that I see ordering relaxed in this code base, yeah, which is a lot. We're gonna replace it with ordering sequential cast. Replace all. Yep. Awesome. Now, that really shouldn't have done anything. Well, actually, I probably shouldn't have done those two things at once. Okay, let's undo that if we can. Okay, so I do want to do those two things, but I don't want to do them at the same time, just because that's a recipe for sadness. UCB1 changes. I don't know what's going on with these ones. GCA. Heck, I'm not sure why these changes broke a test. Yeah, I don't know why they broke a test. But they definitely did. Just want to run it with just the sequential cast stuff. Like, I'm not doing multi-threading here, so I really don't think the ordering of my atomics is the issue. Okay. And then here, I want to do the same one again, just because I want to see what happens. Replace all of these. Cargo test. Okay, awesome. So that didn't change anything. Take Pea Eater's advice. Alvex / is that how I spell ALXZ? ALXB. I was so close. And only use sequential cast. Unrelated to what I was doing, but I didn't want to not do it. I want to take a look at this diff in GitHub. We're gonna take a look at the diff because I don't know what's different about it. Like I don't know why this test is breaking so significantly. UCB 1 changes. Still doing UCB 1 normal, but break it apart so we don't do the math if there is a node that hasn't been visited enough. That's actually really not even true because I don't do the looping before I do any math, whatever. We also do the sequential cast and relax change, but I'm not multi-threaded, so that really isn't gonna be the issue here. Okay, so this though. Here, we don't return negative infinity anymore in the case of number of visits being less than or equal to this. But that minimum number of visits is this. Yep. Yep, okay, We get the number of visits for each child if the number of visits is less than or equal to the minimum number, then we just return that sum. The thing here is that might actually now do the first one, and it might have been doing the last one before. That would be interesting. I don't want to do this, but I have an interesting idea. Line 570. If this fixes it, that's not good, but it's really, really interesting. Why can't we do that? That's where you got reversed from? CD, Battlesnake, RS, Cargo editor tools. I want to like just reload the thingy because isn't reversed something? Iter tools rust reversed. It was pretty positive that was a thing. Reversed. Oh, it's just called rev. Oh. Oh, okay. Oh wait, and you just do rev. Oh wait, into iterator. Oh. First of all, we don't even need iter tools. Okay, cool. It also wasn't the thing that added it. Okay, test. If this fixes the tests, that would be hilarious. Oh, I didn't want to get rid of that, apparently. 196. Import. There we go. Okay. Ah! We got to do it from here. That's the actual macro. If this passes the test, it's going to be hilarious. That means I have an ordering difference there. Holy crap, really? That test passes or fails based on the order I choose nodes from the children. I like think that was not supposed to be the case. Like I'm pretty convinced that's like really not supposed to happen. So that's pretty awesome that that's happening. Yeah, unreversed, it fails legitimately every time, and reversed, it passes every time. Okay, which test is this? This is amazing. AF9, it's this one. Okay. AF9, I think this is the one that I already have up here. It's not going to tell me though, so let's do AF9. Yep. Go to this. Yep, okay. So, in this move. I think I should go right. Yep. This thing thinks I should go up. Okay. Up is not in the allowed moves. Right. Yep. Okay. So the options that we have are we can go up, we can go left, and we can go right. We go up like so many more times. 1,500 times. And we only go left and right exactly 60. Because that must be the 8 times the natural log of total number of iterations or something at this point. So like, can I just do like the natural log in here? 1886? No, but I can just tell Google to do it for me. Oh, so that's 7, and then if we times that by 8, we get 58. Yeah. Okay, so like, as soon as the natural log gets bigger. Yep, okay, so like that kind of makes sense. And then this one then has a used to be normal of -1. This one's -9.5. Interesting. And like we just always go up here. So average score is first and then UCB1. Average score, yeah, these average scores are bad, so it's not surprising that the UCB1 does it that way. But it's super interesting, because if I do the reverse here, we're going to see something super different. Yep, there's the rev. I actually don't know what one we were looking at anymore, to be honest. This one, AF9. Yeah, it passed, because right gets seen so many more times. Yeah, okay, see, so that's the problem. There's no way that that is okay, right? Like the UCB1 normal doesn't seem to be working for me here. It should not be the case, in my completely uninformed opinion, it should not be the case that whichever node I pick first ends up being the one that we evaluate for the whole time. It just doesn't seem like that's the right answer here. Okay, but let's look at test fixture here. It gives it 50 milliseconds of latency. Is that gonna do something different? That would be interesting. So this is the one that's gonna pass. So this one should pass no matter what I say, and then it doesn't because everything hates me. That's fine. It's actually easy. It's just the warning about network latency. Okay. Let's find that one again. This one, run test. Should take about 5 seconds. I think it's gonna pass because I think I still have the reverse put in there. Yep. And now we do it again, and like annoyingly, interestingly enough, I expect it to fail. Yep. Yeah, so it's not about time. It's literally just which one we pick first. Yeah, I know it's just that we evaluate that one an absurd amount of times more. Yeah, so we really do need to figure out why the UCB1s... Okay, let's write a comment. Let's write not a comment. We're gonna write an issue today. I think that might be where we wrap up. We're gonna discuss what we've done. Oh, let's make it a pull request. I'm not gonna actually do the pull request part, but like let's write it here. While investigating, we found some oddities that are worth looking into more. This game fixture is the one that we found interesting. Okay, let's find this one. It seems to be very dependent on the order we look at nodes when we roll out. If we change the okay, so it doesn't have the rev in there right now. There we go. If we change the next child to explore method to go through children in rev order, the test fails every time. But if we run it in the standard order, it passes every time. It seems that the node we pick to look at first, this is a guess, it might be second, haven't proved it. Is the node that gets visited much more often. Hey, Backward Spy, how is it going? We are kind of wrapping up, but I'm trying to write an issue about one of the weird things that we found. So it'll be nice to have you here to rubber duck against just a tiny bit while I write this out. Hee hee hee. Okay, so let me read over what I've got. And we'll see if we can chat through what I learned while you had some dinner. So I'm looking at UCB1 normal, but I'm not positive if UCB1 normal is the right algorithm here. The right algorithm for the upper confidence bound, I think, depends a lot on the game. The UCB normal one... Ooh, let's actually copy some of the comment that I put in Discord here. Okay, so this was something that I wrote on Discord that I think is potentially relevant. A message I put on it. A message I sent in Discord. Okay, so the idea of the UCB1 normal is in Monte Carlo tree search, there's lots of randomization. So you basically look at a specific node, your starting point, and pick the next best node to look at. I'm doing that by the UCB1, or more specifically, the UCB1 normal algorithm. And so that picks which node to look at next and do a rollout for. And I found something a little weird that's happening in my snake in relation to this UCB1. So for this one fixture, which we can kind of see what the fixture looks like here. So I'm the snake in green, and there's two snakes in pink. This light pink is the one that's really more important. My options are left, right, and up, though really I think my best option is right. Up can force a head-to-head, and I can lose. Left puts me kind of trapped, and right is a safer move here. I don't remember where my tail is, but I think we assume left can't tail chase out. So my options are kind of up and right. And I think right's the better move. I think up is not the move Irene should be taking. But I found something that's interesting. There was a point in code where I was just playing around, and I wanted to see what would happen if I reversed the order we went through these children in. Because I think... Okay, so, sorry. Stepping back a little bit. I tried to do an optimization here where if we know that a child has been visited less than the minimum, we don't do all the fancy math for UCB1. We just say, okay, yep, we found a child that hasn't been visited enough. We definitely need to go to that child. In my implementation of that, I switched the order we would pick a node. Previously, I would pick the last node that hadn't been visited enough times, and now I'm doing it eagerly, and I'm going to pick the first node that hadn't been visited. That led to this fixture that we were looking at. Not that fixture. Kind of that fixture. This fixture. That led to this fixture failing consistently when the order was backwards. And then to test that the order was just the difference, I kept my new implementation that was going to eagerly pick the first one, but I reversed the order of the iterator. So now I'm doing the same thing, but I'm going through the iterator backwards. Crazily enough, it consistently passes now. So like if I keep the reverse in, it'll pass every time. I haven't seen it fail this way. Oh, I also have it set to run for 5 seconds to see if that helps. It did not, and I don't want that anymore. So it really seems like it has something to do with having this reverse encode. Because we can get a pass, we can get another pass with it. Oh, oops, it's so close. I didn't re-comment this in. And then wait, let's see it pass again with this in here. Passing, passing, passing. We remove this and it fails immediately. It doesn't seem random. It just fails. And I think I actually want to leave it failing. Let's leave this failing for now. We'll make the comments in PR make more sense. Okay, yeah, so it's definitely an order thing. Like it's, and like, you know, I'm just gonna do this one more time to prove myself it's gonna fail again. I've been dealing with enough randomness in these tests in other cases that I just want to be really sure. Okay, so we have an order difference. Where order matters. And so I'm writing this comment because I think I'm pretty done looking into it today. Just feeling a little done with it today, but I want to make a good note so that they come back. So that when I come back to it, I can make sense of it. But backwards spy, great question. Do tests run with a different random seed every time? They do. They definitely do. Well, I'm not. I said definitely, and then you made me question myself. I don't think I'm setting the seed specifically. So I imagine they are getting seeded with, you know, some randomish seed every time. I'm not doing anything in my tests to set the seed. And that, like, I might actually want to change that at some point, because that's what I was saying, like, where I have had tests that often will, like, be 50-50. They'll pass 50% of the time, fail 50% of the time because of things like timing and randomness. I can definitely play around with seeing how to set the seed for the fx hash randomness stuff that I'm using, or actually it's not fx hash, that's for hashing, but still, I can figure out how to set the seed. I don't think that this failure is seed related though. I'm just not, you know, like that's a, like, you know, I think that might be helpful in terms of getting rid of determinism or making things deterministic, getting rid of non-determinism in my specs in general. But I'm not feeling like that's this one, because it's really, really deterministic, it seems like. Oh, and actually, just for a little bit of stuff, we can kind of see the distribution. Okay, so this is looking at from my root node, the 3 children, so left, right, and up in this case. The average score, then UCB1, normal score, number of times we visited this node, and then the direction. So interestingly, right and left here only get visited the minimum number of times, 59, and then up takes the cake with everything else. And then again, just because everything's a little wonky, oh, I don't have the rev in there anymore. But because things are a little wonky, if we throw the rev back in, we go down and find our test, what we see is that it's the exact same thing in the other direction, right? So we only hit the minimum. This time it's 60. I think because of the numbers, it's a little weird. And this time we hit right, like every time, and we don't hit up at all. And it's just weird. Backwards Spy says, yeah, that's super weird, because with a random seed each time, you really wouldn't expect just reversing the iterator to go from failing to passing every time. Yeah, right? Like, if the seed's different and it has something to do with randomness, I can totally get, like, sure, maybe it changes the distribution or something, but going from 0 to 100 or 100 to 0, fail, pass, just doesn't seem super random related. And this is also interesting, right? Like, there is randomness in Monte Carlo. So, like, yes, maybe in all my moves that I picked up or whatever, we crash into ourselves the next turn and, like, maybe the world of randomness is conspiring against us. But, like, not so we would never visit it again. And not so the score is -1. Well, this is a bad case because I want it to go right. But, like, it just seems so weird how definite it is in either scenario. Which means I think we have a bug. Like, I think it's something in how we're doing the UCB1 normal. Like, I'm not sure the actual math of UCB1 normal is wrong. I think I'm just not using its concept correctly. There's also the chance that UCB1 normal isn't the right concept for Battlesnake because of, like, Battlesnake being multiple player and simultaneous and yada yada yada. I'm not positive UCB1 normal is the right math. That's something I might look into this week and just looking in math stuff and seeing if this is the right style for this game. But even beyond that, I think there's kind of just a code bug. So yeah. Are the children always the same order? Do you always go left, up, right, down, for example, or is it randomized? I think it's the same order. Because I just don't think I do anything about that. So I have expand, which is the thing that's going to add children. And when we add children, it's probably going to be in the right order. Yeah, so I don't think I'm specifically doing it in a random order at all, but I think I can. I'm actually not sure if shuffle is a method. Rust, back, random order. Shuffle. Oh, I just need to pass it in a thread, a random thing. Have I been doing a RNG somewhere here? Yeah, okay, so we're using thread RNG. Okay, that's fine. Shuffle. Shuffle. There we go. Oops. Thread RNG. Qualify. Slice random is not implemented. Wait a second, I thought I could do that. Mutable back. Wait, why can't I shuffle you? Just guessing wildly. Yeah, no, me too, backward spy, but I like that one. Seems weird, but I guess that could explain why reversing it is getting the right result, because the correct direction could be tested earlier. Yeah, like that's definitely a great theory. The trait slice random is not implemented for that vec. Yeah, it was just the how exactly I had done the syntax here wasn't right. Okay, so let's just shuffle them. Let's see if changing the order has a big difference. This kind of has to, right? Like we've gotten rid of a deterministic order here. Oh, I wonder, like, is that just gonna be better? Oh wait, no, wait. We went up still. Okay, so we went the wrong direction still. But then moves are different. Wait a sec. Wait. I think I was in a wrong thing. Let's exit out of all of these because I think I was looking at two different things. A click versus a cargo test. Thanks, Streamlabs. Okay, so up got visited a tiny bit, left got visited a little more, and right got visited the most. Wait a sec, did you just fix it, backward spy? I still want to think about it a little more because it's a little weird for me. Oops, wrong projects. It's fine though. It's not bad at all, but it is a little weird that the order is this much of a big deal in Monte Carlo. I didn't think it would be. So I just need to think about that more, but it might be working a lot better. Okay, so this is failing. Left is not in the allowed set. Oh, wow. Okay. Randomizing the order is really interesting. I think I have a bug based on the order we look at things, because this doesn't make sense. We shouldn't be picking left, I don't think. Or at least I said earlier that left made no sense. But we finally got a left, and I don't think I've ever seen a left out of that test before. Oh, look at that. Okay. So now we've got it to not be deterministic, which makes sense because we added more randomness, right? More randomness is always going to make things less deterministic. But like the point of these algorithms, like the point of Monte Carlo and the point of the upper confidence bound is that it should do the right thing more often. And now it is. But let's throw the reverse back in. Now that it's randomized, the reverse shouldn't make any difference, right? Like that would be... Oh, the reverse is in here. Okay, well then let's remove the reverse. Whatever. I really shouldn't need a reverse if I'm randomizing it, because the order just is irrelevant now. Yeah. And like, sure. And left, see? That's the thing. I'd actually take left over up. Up's the really bad move. So if we're going left, then maybe the tail's in a fine spot where we can get out. There we go. There's a right. So it's not perfect, right? Which is fine. Monte Carlo's never going to be perfect. Like, that's not the goal here. The goal isn't to... Well, you know, of course, the goal is to make a snake that's perfect, but... This does seem better. Definitely better. Backward spies. My working theory is it's for some reason getting stuck checking one direction so much that it never gets around to trying the others, so randomizing it helps spread out the distribution a little. Yeah, I think you're totally right? That seems to be what's happening. But the thing that's confusing me, which is totally reasonable, is that the idea of UCB1 normal, or the idea of the UCB1 suite of algorithms as I understand it, is to help fix the I got stuck playing one machine problem. Where we just like keep checking one direction and don't do it. And so specifically for UCB1 normal, I thought that's what this was supposed to do. If there is a machine which has been played less than 8 login times, play that machine. And like, I thought that was the mechanism that was supposed to stop us from always playing one machine, but it doesn't seem to be quite working out that way. And I think one thing that I need to figure out is why that is. I'm wondering now, randomly, which doesn't seem to fit, but like when we have the average score and we're summing it, is there a point where it just gets so big or small, like either big positive or big negative, that the other ones can't compete anymore? And it shouldn't be, right? Because that's like why we're averaging the reward here. Like that wouldn't make sense to me. But maybe. And sum of squared rewards obtained from machine J. Yeah, so that is what we're doing. Yeah, I think you're right, Backwards 5, that it has something to do with picking one direction and like getting stuck with it, right? And we just need to figure out where that stickiness is. Yeah, this is where the stickiness is, right? Seems that the node we pick to look at first, or I said I actually don't know if it's first, it could be second, is the node that gets visited much more often. We get stuck on this node and seem to try it way more than the rest. You said you tried giving it a lot more time to calculate, right? That's what's confusing me too, because if it's getting stuck, you'd expect more time to help it resolve the issue. Yeah, right? I agree. And I did say that, but I don't ever trust the things I say. So let's do it again. Because like, while I am kind of confused, I am not like, you know, while I am thinking of getting done here soon, I'm not in a rush to be done. So let's try this out. Duration from seconds, and we'll do like 5 seconds. Well, actually, and the thing is, I haven't done new speed since we did the randomizing, obviously, so this will be at least interesting, right? We'll see what it says now that there's randomizing going on. Oh, as millis. Okay. Do. Where'd it go? This one. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't actually know. What did I say? 5 or 10? Picked up, not in the allowed set of right. And yeah, look, now we did 33,000 to up and 84 and 84. Like, ignore the numbers up there, they changed, but again, like, it doesn't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right gets 82, and then left, yeah, see, something, it gets stuck, just like you're saying, right? We barely look at the other ones, and the one that we look at, we just go through a ton. This one is a little more sane to me, if that every time we went up and every time we went right, we got a -1. Like, that seems hard to say. I should try again. It does feel better to explore left in this case. But even that, getting 84 losses in the same directions, that doesn't feel right. So I do think I'm going to need to start, like, pulling those out a little more, right? Seeing where those came from, seeing what's inside those 84 moves. And maybe my simulation's wrong, maybe something's going wrong there. And this time it didn't. So yeah, so right didn't get stuck at -1. It found rights that didn't end in a loss. It just for some reason thinks up results in a loss way less, which I don't agree with at all. So yeah, I think this might be where we're gonna wrap up for the day. I think I need to think about this a bit more, and I think I need to come back to just the math of UCB1. I guess maybe next week we'll just have a math heavy session where we'll just do some math. But we'll see where we get for next week and if we make any progress here. But I think this might be where we wrap up. We've got this issue out. Let me read it over one more time, see if it makes sense. Still doing UCB1 normal, but broke it apart. That's past tense. I did that already. But broke it apart so we don't do all the math if there is a node that hasn't been visited enough. We found some oddities that we're looking into. This fixture, it seems to be very dependent on the order we look at nodes when we roll out. If we change the next child to explore method to go through children in reverse order, the test always fails. But if we run them in the standard order, it passes every time. Currently, we are randomizing the order of nodes in rollout, which helps make the reverse not needed, but makes the overall effects non-deterministic. It seems that the node we picked to look at first, this is a guess, it could be second, haven't proven it out, is the node that gets visited much more often. We get stuck on this node and seem to try it way more than the rest. Okay. I think that's good. I think that explains enough of what we're seeing. Random order and run these tests for longer. Okay, well, I think that will wrap us up for today then. We made a bit of progress and we got a good description of this bug written out. I know we don't have a solution, but I actually feel pretty good about understanding that it has something to do with the order we evaluate nodes in. If we change up the order we evaluate nodes, everything gets wonky and like kind of in a deterministic way, right? Like if we keep the deterministic order with and then do the reversing, that's like really consistent. And so that feels like something to look into, and I think we'll find it in another few tries if we keep going down that rabbit hole. But I think that is all I've got for today, team. Thanks for coming along and hanging out. I hope you enjoyed it. I think I'm actually going to do another stream tomorrow. I have the day off tomorrow, and I am almost on day 16 of Advent of Code in my YouTube video series, and I am only moderately terrified of day 16. Everyone I've heard from says day 16's a doozy. So I thought maybe it would be fun to do on stream tomorrow. I'm gonna plan on getting on around noon tomorrow, just like today, and hacking on 16 for probably a good 2 hours or so, assuming that it's a nice long one like I think it is. So if you are around, feel free to join me tomorrow for that, but the video will definitely be posted to YouTube 24 hours after the stream. So yeah, tune in for that tomorrow and we will do some Advent of Code then. But in the meantime, have a great rest of your Sunday, and I will talk to everyone soon. If you are watching this and want to hang out with me more, check out my Discord. There will be a QR code to scan right as I turn my camera off and get off stream here, or check out my GitHub profile for a link. Hope you enjoyed today, and I will see everyone tomorrow for Advent of Code Day 16. Thanks. See everyone soon. Bye.